Hello, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the My Team series. We are headed to we're actually already in Miami because I've already done practice sessions here. We're in Miami for the second sprint weekend of the season off of our best performance so far in Saudi Arabia. Miami has typically not been one of my better tracks, but we'll see what we can do as things have been shaken up a little bit over the course of going from 24 to 25. So let's take a look at some of these messages. Of course, 2 qualifying sessions and then the sprint and the full race, so a little bit longer coming in. We are catching up to the back of Sauber in the performance charts, but it would appear that it's not much separating everybody. Weekend forecast, so dry conditions throughout. That should be a good news for us. Let's go ahead and we'll get the practice power unit out. That's still good. Time for a new MGUH to slot in. 33, 39, 7, and of course, round 6 means a new gearbox. So let's get after our sprint qualifying.
Welcome back to Miami and welcome to qualifying. Only raw speed will separate these drivers today, but the question is, who's got what it takes to get pole?
All right, here we go, winding up for our first flying lap of the session. As we did in China, we'll be on the medium tires for the first run. We've only got one set of softs for qualifying in the sprint qualifying, so we'll get after it on the mediums first. Now turn 1, find this brake right where that curbing starts. I think we're a little bit deep there. Tires perhaps still not fully up to temperature, being the slightly harder compound. Now through these quick sweepers. Found taking a lot of the curb on this right-hander helps you stay, and then more on the left. Those curbs have been flattened out since last year. Now very tricky turning, braking. Now let's get on the power. Burn a decent chunk of battery there to get up to speed. Open the DRS and a little bit of a cruise down before the next big braking zone. And here it is. Just about get the car slowed down, dragging the rear tires a little bit under braking. So they're not going to be too happy, but we can punish them. This curb's been flattened. Ooh, and we touched the inside wall. So trying to take as much of that angle as we can on that inside corner. But alas, took just a little bit too much. And
damage to your front wing, damage to your front wing.
Here we go for another lap. And it's going to be kind of close on the timing. I might have to make an evaluation when I get ready to pull into the pit lane to abandon this lap and get the soft tires on. And in fact, that's exactly what we'll do. Putting ourselves in quite the risky situation, though. Having only one lap to get the job done. All right, here we go, winding up for our last shot at qualifying here. 2 mistakes means we have not yet put a time on the board. Let's get the job done. We are on the soft tires now, at least. But by virtue of not having put a time in yet, we will not have a delta to see, if we're improving, obviously. We don't have a time to improve against. Okay, survived the trouble spot from the second lap. A little early on the brakes there, a bit on the conservative side, but Better that than no lap. Now we really get to fight our way through these last few corners. Car does not like those corners. It is just understeer city. One more corner to go. Bit early on the brakes there. We can usually go a little after the 150 board. Was a little ahead of it that time, but out of the final corners. Here we go, across the line. Where do we go? 19th. Not a great qualifying result for us.
And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend. So we'll see you all tomorrow.
Our teammate on a 27.4, we're about 0.6 off of him, so not a particularly good showing.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? A lap of the Miami Grand Prix features 3.36 miles of track around the Hard Rock Stadium. And 19 corners make up the Miami International Autodrome, which will challenge the drivers in a tight wheel-to-wheel race. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Piastri, Yuki Tsunoda, and Hülkenberg, Russell, Norris, Fernando Alonso, and Pierre Gasly, Pierce, Antonelli, Alex Albon and Stroll, Hadjar, Behrman, Carlos Sainz and Gabriel Bortoleto, Martins, Doohan, Lawson and Esteban Ocon lines up at the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint. And alongside me a man, well, what more can I say? But he's a legend. Anthony Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday, but in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Crofty. You know, the cars have got bigger, they're heavier, but critically, there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was around 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometers an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance. But because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
Okay, let's try not to worry about being down here at the back. You've got the speed, you've got the car, so just take it easy and the race will come to you.
All right, let's see. 1.79 kilos of fuel per lap on a 10-lap stint, so that'll be 17.9 kilos of fuel. Yeah, we're actually projected to go slower thanks to our tire wear. It's going to be a tough day. There's lights and out. Quite a bit of wheel spin at the launch here. We're going to get a bit of a line to the inside. We're just going to have to tuck in. We can't really make that 3 wide. We have gotten nearly up to our teammate who looks to have dropped quite a few places at the start here. Barring any kind of real chaos, it's going to be real tough to get some points from P19 on a sprint grid. So realistically, this is going to be more about feeling out the car, seeing if there's any setup changes that need to be done wing-wise in relation to the cars around us. Looks like we're going to be quite a bit slower than our foes in a straight line, especially deep in the slipstream like that. But it's going to be a good opportunity to kind of figure out how the tires are wearing, where we might have some overtaking opportunities. So Beckman really did not like that. Healthy send on our teammate up the inside there. Gets us up to P15.
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled.
And then get a good run. Also, hey, check out the shiny new Xenon logos. Yep, once again up the inside, a little tight. Oh boy, lots of wheel spin there. Good, they're fighting up ahead. Otherwise, we would have been in real risk of losing the DRS to these two cars ahead of us. Already in the slipstream with the DRS. Should we go around the outside this time? I think we do. Trying to save battery. I'm going to give him the outside line if he wants to retech. Nope, he's not there. Oh, a little deep there. Come on. I'd like to try to stay with this car ahead without burning a ton of battery, because I'm going to need it down the straights. Looks like we can just about abuse that pair of corners a little bit more than the AI does. Honestly, shaping up to be not bad for the Grand Prix as far as pace goes. I mean, we're up to P13, threatening P12. Just about halfway through it, so. The question is, do my tires hang on to the end? Okay, rear tires are starting to slide a bit there. Gotta apex that one early. And not get all the way out on the outside like that. Fernando Alonso is breathing down our gearbox. I'm just gonna kind of box him in. Trying to be real easy on the throttle now. Going for the Hulkenberg lunge here, and boom. Up the inside, bully the AI a little bit.
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place.
tires are starting to revolt on me. Yellow flag, back of the pack, one of the Haas's.
Green flag.
Okay.
Caution, caution. Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead. Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home.
Okay. Just need to keep the rear tires connected to the ground. We'll have the opportunity to get after Alonso into the final corner. Box him in, and get the job done here. Ah, we got boxed out. Ooh, side-by-side
pick up
drag
rubber
race
and
with
bring it
Alonso at
home.
the end there. 13th.
So with the sprint concluded, join us next time for qualifying. And of course, the main event, this weekend's Formula One Grand Prix. We'll see you next time.
Hajar got some speed at the end there. Joshua way dropped off the pace. Not great for him there. And no points for the team.
Welcome back to Miami and welcome to qualifying. Only raw speed will separate these drivers today, but the question is, who's got what it takes to get pole?
All right, here we go. Getting ready for our first round of Grand Prix qualifying. See if we can't do better than what the sprint race had for us. Got a Haas breathing down our neck to start this lap, so that's a bit annoying. And that's a bit wide. All right, this is the banker lap. Turned in just a hair early, had to correct midway through that corner. You can see the annoyance the Haas is going to be. I'll bet you he tries to go for a move on me. And mess up both of our qualifying runs. That's probably going to impact some of our later laps comparisons, just because I use so much more in the middle sector than I normally would, or the first sector than I normally would. Just to try and make sure he wouldn't get a run on me into that first hairpin. Here we are, out of the last corner. Here we go for run number 2 on the used tires. Shut up, Mark, please. Let's see if we can't improve. I know turn 1 was a big opportunity last lap. About a 10th faster overall. Still could have been a little better. Try to use a similar battery deployment. Seemed to work out pretty decently. And right around the DRS line is a good place to cut it off. Yeah, I think we went a little longer actually this time. Try and open up the entry to that corner a little more. We have some painted area we can start braking on. The grip seems decent out there.
Okay, I'm afraid we've been pushed down to P16.
Thank you, Mark. Maybe don't talk to me when I'm in the most technical part of the track. Couple of tenths found. Let's get a good run through the final corner. Chance braking a little bit later this time. Really? I felt like I broke later much better that time. I guess not. Found was still just about 2 tenths. Here we go. Final run of quali. How risky do I want to be? Always the choice to make. Wind it up. Let's get after it. About another tenth or so. Sounds like there was a bit of a lockup on the way in there. It's a quick chunk of the first sector, but that lockup cost us some time. See if we can't find any more. Sitting P12 at the moment.
Okay, we've been pushed down to P12.
Fastest of anyone through the middle sector. Down to P18, but we're finding 4 tenths so far. Just need a good final corner. Oh. Wheel spin, a half spin, and all 4 tenths are gone. We're going to find only about 3/100ths because of it. Brutal. Oh, it was on for such a good lap. Four tenths would have put us up by our teammate if we had just maintained it. Would have been starting well inside the top 10. Now we've got work to do.
F1 is back in the United States of America. We're here in the Sunshine State for a race that's fast becoming a fan favorite. It's time for the Miami Grand Prix. Sitting at the southeastern coast of Florida, the Miami International Autodrome has 19 corners and 3.36 miles of racing. It's a circuit designed to encourage close racing while meeting the highest safety standards. Either way, I'm sure it's one that will please the fans. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Oscar Piastri lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Tsunoda, Norris, Esteban Ocon, and Verstappen, Hamilton, Pierce, Antonelli, and Gabriel Bortoleto, Stroll, Sainz, George Russell, and Fernando Alonso, Lawson, Martins, Jack Doohan, and Nico Hülkenberg, Albon, Hadjar, Gasly, and Ollie Behrman rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me today, former Formula One driver and former world champion too. See, told you I'd give you a big intro. Anthony Davidson, hello. And let's talk momentum with this driver. What a sprint it was. They start at 0 once again for today, but with a huge amount of confidence, surely. Well, they'll definitely be glad that there's not a sprint race today. Let's face it, the sprint couldn't have gone much worse, but what we're looking for today is a reaction. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
If we want to achieve a points finish like last race, you're going to need to push for positions early on. Let's go for it. Good luck.
Okay, let's see. What's the strategy? It looks like definite 2-stop. That 3-stop is ugly as sin, so we're going to go ahead and stay away from that. Times 29 laps, 51.9. Although we were about a lap. Let's go 27.5. Let's go a lap and a half under. See if we can't make something happen out of that. Yeah, I think we just go with the planned strategy. You're gonna have to just push hard because we know the tires die off pretty quick. Here we go on the hard tires. The 5 red lights up. Decent start, covered off by Alonso hard though. We're going to give him no space really to go as we pull up alongside Stroll. Little contact with him. But already big moves on turn 1 there. Kind of split the gap. I rode my way up. And away we go. Early in stints is where we're going to have the best opportunity to really attack. Because our tires definitely fall off a lot faster than the AI. So we're going to try and make early moves where we can. For example, we're going to probably just go for a big old lunge on our teammate here. Because everybody's going to slow way up for this corner. know I'm the faster car.
We can now use DRS. DRS now available.
We'll know after the first couple of laps what we're going to have to do fuel-wise. At the current mark, so there may be a little bit of lift and coast needed. We're into the points, which is important. Really? I need to overtake the cars I'm racing? I need to get past the cars I'm racing? Who would have thought? This is not going to be a... Ugh.
Okay, you're in the top 10.
Kind of forced to go for it there, but that's a huge time loss to the car ahead.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
I'm going to be hugely under attack here. Just like that. I think we're going to just touch the DRS detection. Yep. Let's try and save some battery here. Actually cleared Bortoleto. Cars are starting to go. Try to do both.
Right, keep pushing. You're gaining on the car ahead.
That was a bit of a rude maneuver. Wasn't really going for it. It was just kind of late on the brakes for lift and
22 laps
coast.
of fuel remaining.
Any day you want to start rotating, right, front right, any day. Wow, Bortoleto made it through Ocon as well. He's on the move. I'm just going to just about hold him off. Full second. Bortoleto's got the run. No need to defend from him.
Come on, you can win that place back.
It's fuel conservation time.
approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums.
Okay, medium runners are already into the pits then. Oh, Joshua's out. What happened to him? Where he's at looks like a crash. Did he get tangled up with Antonelli?
Okay, Joshua's just dropped out of the race.
Okay, we're in the next lap. All right, into the pits, onto the medium tire. Let's see what we can get done. Let's go for the temperatures so we can see when they hit their full temp.
Okay, let's go now.
Okay,
Come on.
we'll start off pretty
Perfect
much at
job on the
temperature.
turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. Okay, one stop to go. Just one stop left in this strategy.
Let's hustle. Let's get onto the back of the Mercedes.
This is our true place here. They've pitted as well, so we've got to warm up our tyres and get the most out of it. Come on.
Okay, burn some battery. We should be able to get in DRS pretty easily. Through this infield bit. Yep, there we are. Go on the attack of Antonelli.
Nice move. Good job.
Oh, I wish I would stop making that mistake right there. That's 100% cost me DRS. So Lewis will go through. Gosh, got to stop making that mistake there. Oh, now you get into the pits. God damn it. They use so much resource trying to get that move done, and he just dives into the pits. I could have been exactly where I was just by staying out. And my God, Lando through that first sector was insane, and I really messed that one up. So that'll likely be Antonelli. That'll be Antonelli easily past me.
Try to stay with them. They might make a mistake and we could still regain the position.
My god, Norse put 2.5 seconds on me in like 4 corners. Time for the brake balance move. Yeah, really starting to feel the rear tire wear.
We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums.
The understeer on the way into the pit lanes, or on the final bits, is rough. Okay. Behrman closing us down. Cars behind us, just going to be a straight fight to the end.
Okay, go, go, go.
Good pit stop.
Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Ocon, Alonso, Sainz surround us. We've got the medium tire to their hard, so I think it's going to be tough. Do we go for moves? I think while I got the tires, I got to. Oh man, was that brutal.
final lap. Push, push.
Come on! I need a tire wear upgrade in the worst way.
Take care of the car on the way.
Couldn't get it to points. Ugh.
The checkered flag is out. We're going to be hearing that Dutch national anthem again because it's victory for Max Verstappen.
They had to be decisive with their overtaking today as they worked their way through the field. And those kind of race victories are so enjoyable because it's not just like winning from the front. They really had to work for it today.
It's what every driver imagines when they start out on their long road towards Formula One. And for our lucky three today, here's the podium waiting for them. And for those that have missed the Dutch national anthem, fear not. It's back again because Max Verstappen is back on the top step. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Just couldn't hang on to the tires. I mean, I need tire wear upgrades so bad at this stage. Like, that was multiple points that we missed out on. In the early phases, we were up P6, P7. We just couldn't hang on to it. Williams closes the gap with their points scoring results. Or no, they didn't. Or did they score? Yeah. Yeah, Sainz scored that points. That narrowed the gap. But yeah, just could not get to him. Not surprising with the wing damage. Oh, we've got a rivalry now. Okay, cool. So we have a fight with Williams. Yes, fan rating 2. Time for more incoming monies. I realized I should also start paying attention to the cost cap stuff as we go throughout the year. So that's a quarter of the way through the season. Let's see, we got another facility improvement for phase 1-2 cost reduction. Yep, now people are going to start expecting top 10s.
Hey, Chief. We've got multiple parts out of research. Don't forget to develop them. We've got performance sitting on the table that we could be getting into the car.
Okay, let's see. What do we want? We'll check and see what's currently in development before we start spending those. I think chassis and durability usually need morale. What do we got? Let's focus. Also powertrain. Aero is usually the golden child. Okay, let's see. Cost cuts. Nice. And then let's do some more fan rating. Okay. We got messages. Got a rivalry. Yeah, DNF and outside the points. That's a tough one. DNF. Fan engagement. Okay. Performance. What do we got? Okay, this is just the rivalry thing. Engineering. What do we got? Nice. Finished a development expansion for Arrow. In progress. We need facility improvements, so let's keep pumping the, let's start getting the chassis developments, or improvements going. Durability is in progress as well. Okay. Let's see, what's going to give me, because what, Phase 2 unlocks at Workforce 215, so what's going to give me the best workforce increases? Let's spend on chassis breakthrough, plus 10. Yeah. Let's get that underway. Do I have developments that need to be done? I think so. Just make sure, okay, we're all spending there. I literally can't spend any. Ooh, nice, powertrain is done, so now we can do a fuel efficiency. Great. Great. Okay. Man, we got updates queued like crazy here. Updates there. 1 day, 5 days. Okay. So let's go ahead and again, let's give another Arrow development blitz. We're really gonna need that, and let's get powertrain research blitz. Sure, why not? It's telling me I can still do stuff here. Is that just not the case? Oh, I do have a second slot now. Great. Okay, so I can at least get a second slot of upgrades going for Arrow now. Let's advance time. Everybody like speeds up in the background. Okay, stop because that development's complete. Okay, that's a set of secondary wing flaps. Let's start going with the next Arrow development. Chassis 1 day from being done. Okay, we got pistons. Let's get ERS going, so stators. And 1 day for you. Sign the upgrades. These are going on to Victor's car. Okay, a little further.
Great news. The development of a part is complete.
Thank
and
you,
it's now
Mathis,
ready
I'm
for
aware.
fitting. Be sure to visit the Assign Upgrades screen when you have a moment.
Plank is done. Let's start this next development. And MGUK. Let's get the second MGUK going. Assign upgrades. It's just this MGUH, so that goes to Joshua. All right, we're ahead of Sauber and Cash App in the development chart now. Actually, it says that Victor's got a slightly better car now.
Sorry to disturb. Need you for a moment, please, boss?
Engineering event. What do we got? Exposure. No, let's leave the team alone. Research. Okay. completed. Okay, you complete. Wow, that was quick. All right, so we're basically as good as we can be at durability at the moment. Or can we? Can we do better? Do we have multiple upgrades available? No, I think we're stuck. Oh wait, there's a hole. Yeah, turbo. Oh, free. Great. Now the notification should be gone. In development. Ah, failure on the flaps. Alright, let's get those back up. That means we should have 2 improvements coming the same day, though.
Chief, I must remind you that we have parts fully researched that are waiting for development. Let's get that performance on the car.
Alright, last bit. I think fan level 2 means we've got some more sponsors. So let's get that done. There we go. Fiddled with the colors, added some more sponsor slots because we've upgraded some of our sponsors. We got all kinds of different colors on the car. It's starting to look like... a little more like a race car. Got the slot for the underside of the rear wing now even. So we got that Monomic sponsor on there. It's a good start. Good start to a race car. Alrighty then. Well, thank you all for joining me once again. I'll catch you guys next time as we head to, looks like Imola. So see y'all later. Peace.